When it says never stick, it ain't never sticking. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Harleigh and I think I love cooking. I definitely love baking, but I think over the last 2 years, I've become like someone who actually loves cooking. I've always loved hosting and I cannot wait to host here. And I'm just such a feeder and I'm becoming more and more of a feeder the more and more I turn into my mum. Having good tools, the right knives and all the essentials just makes cooking so much more of an enjoyable experience. There is nothing worse than having the determination and will and actual desire to get up out of bed one day and make a new recipe and then you realize that you don't have anything you need to actually get the job done. In this video, I'm going to give you a rundown of my everyday kitchen essentials, and if you want to have a tour of my actual kitchen, that video is on my channel up there in the description, and if you want to have a look around my entire flat, also up there in the description. Without further ado, let's get into these tools. So the first thing that I was looking forward to having once I left home, got my own place, were good sharp knives. I was under the impression for some reason that like good knives were really expensive, and that's just not true. I managed to get a mix and match set of a few basics that I'm going to talk about from quite inexpensive places, a lot of them from HomeSense, places like that, which by the way, I'm going to link everything that I'm going to talk about in the description. If I can't find the exact item because they're from HomeSense or TK Maxx, I'll put something similar. There will be a few items that will be like affiliates, they'll have an asterisk next to them. It doesn't charge you anymore, but it means I might earn a bit of a commission for bringing them to your attention. First knife. Santoku knife. This is a Japanese knife. It's quite lightweight. The one I have is a Rockingham forge knife. It has these kind of like divots, I think they're called, like a little scalloped thingy-mabobby. And this is apparently to make things not stick to the blade of the knife because the side of the knife isn't smooth when you're like speed chopping onions or anything like that. This is my everyday knife. The wide blade makes it great for scooping as well. So if you're chopping, you can literally just kind of like scoop and put straight in your pot. As I said, this is a Rockingham Forge Santoku knife, and this I got from HomeSense. My second knife. Another Rockingham Forge knife. This is a Japanese utility knife. So this has a much narrower blade than the Santoku knife. This is a great everyday knife. Also, this is probably a little bit more appropriate for seafood because of the fine tip being able to make more delicate movements. This is great for meat, veg, herbs, garlic. Literally, this is a great garlic knife. Smash, chop. Third knife, absolute non-negotiable. A good bread knife. This knife is Le Cordon Bleu, which is obviously the famous Parisian cooking school, but it doesn't make it any better. That is honestly just a brand. In terms of what I look for in a bread knife, it's actually something that is a little bit weighty, but most importantly, I like it to have a really thin blade. That is because in my life, a bread knife is mostly actually used for leveling off cake tops. Therefore, I need this to be really quite thin so it doesn't tear through sponge. Another great thin, slightly less expensive knife than this, which serves exactly the same purpose, is the House by John Lewis bread knife. That is a great bread knife. Had that before. Slightly slimmer handle, black handle though. Great knife. Fourth and probably most essential knife is a paring knife. This is the Swiss brand, is it Victorinox? Victorinox? A very famous brand, you know, Swiss Army knife, that is them. Perfect small sharp knife, great for fruit, great for ginger, great for herbs. This is called a knife, but it's not knifey, and that is a angled palette knife. As a baker, this is an absolute essential, especially within cake decorating. However, these are very handy cooking tools. Flipping little pancakes, getting butter into like little nooks and crannies, into like sourdough crevices. Most importantly, this is Claire Saffix's favorite kitchen tool, and that's what that matters. My last kind of bladey item are kitchen scissors. These are food specific kitchen scissors. So I have a set of gray scissors. I think I have three pairs of them that are just for anything, you know, house and kitchen related. However, these are my food scissors. So mainly, to be honest, I just use them for cutting spring onions. I will not lie to you. They're absolutely great. I got these from Argos, but you can find kitchen shears like pretty much anywhere. I think ProCook have some. As I said, spring onions, I literally mainly use them for garnishing, I guess like a dill situation, a parsley situation, but these are my basically spring onion designated scissors. Okay, I just said that was the last blade, but that's not the last blade because this is an amazing blade. A microplane, aka bougie grater. Zesting citrus, ginger. If you get one that's like pretty fine or has like a slightly different shape, you can even like grate nutmeg on these. Warning, I have lost the knuckle of this thumb at least 3 times on this microplane. If it is strong enough to grate nutmeg, it is strong enough to grate you. Scales, digital scales. As a baker, I mean, I use this every single day, but I just cannot with the cup thing, the American cup thing, the cups, the different cups, different things weigh different things in different cups. I can't do it. Has to be digital scales. I typically, won't lie, probably get new scales maybe once a year. I usually go for the Salter brand, quite inexpensive, get them in the supermarkets or also online on Amazon, literally anywhere you like. eBay is also great for them. It's not a very complex thing. I personally like one that measures in grams as well as pounds and ounces, and also goes up in 1 gram increments. If you know that you make small batch things, or you know you need to be working at anything less than a gram, look out for that. I literally, I know what I'm like, so I never buy an expensive one. I will either drop it or drop it in the sink. So yeah, £15 max per set of digital scales for me. Silicone spatulas. So when I first started my food business, I got like all anti-wood for like health and safety reasons, and threw away like everything and replaced anything wooden with something silicone. So I have a few more of all of these, but my black set I use for baking, and then anything colored I use for cooking, just because obviously then you have 2 separate sets for when they get a little seasoned. You don't end up putting something that tastes of curry in your Victoria sponge. Tongs, okay? These are like a new revelation to me. The more like food cooking videos I've been watching throughout lockdown, the more I've been seeing tongs like absolutely everywhere. I have always had tongs, but I have never actually used them, and I've come to realize that they are literally an extension of your hands. Like, honestly, if you do not tong, start tonging. When you're frying something, just flipping something, they the most random but yet useful item in my kitchen. Toothpicks. I use these for so many random things that I cannot even think of right now, but mainly for just checking the doneness of things. Sticking a toothpick in your cake is the same when a recipe calls for, you know, insert a skewer and see if it comes out with a crumb. Toothpick. Food thermometer. Again, a little bit of a food safety, health and safety no-brainer for me, but very, very, very useful. Anything meringue, caramel, just cooking meat. Food thermometers are great, especially if you are not so confident in the kitchen. You cannot argue with science, you cannot argue with numbers. If you're not sure what hardball stage of sugar is, go for the number. If you're not sure what, you know, egg whites look like when they're completely cooked through, just go for the number. I don't have one, but if you don't trust your oven, you can also get an oven thermometer. I know people, my friend who used to rent a flat in London, obviously when you're renting you can't replace all the appliances, and she just hated the oven and didn't trust it. Got an oven thermometer, could tell, okay, right, the back right hand corner is not hot enough, the front left hand corner is burning everything. So yeah, if you're having any issues with your oven, or you just want to test it, or just want to ensure that, you know, if you've got a lot going on in the oven, sometimes the heat doesn't distribute evenly, oven thermometers are great, but this is not it. Pans. So I was very, very lucky to receive, to be honest, all my pans for housewarming / birthday presents, which luckily coincided for me this year, and I have some pretty good stuff because of that. Like I said at the beginning, if I can't find links for things that I'm talking about, I'll put something similar. And again, I really, really will vouch for the products that I'm talking about, but I will link some slightly less expensive products in the description too for this particular category. I can't hold this all at once, so I'm just gonna hold up two. My parents, oh, this is cold on my legs. I was lucky enough to receive a Le Creuset 4-pan set for a housewarming gift from my parents. Goodbye, get the hell out of here, go and cook food on your own. These pans are amazing. They are very, I don't know how to say very heavy. They are weighty. The finish of the pans is absolutely amazing. The weight, the non-stick, the handles, the lids fit perfectly. Every single joint is just like perfect. I mean, you really do get what you pay for with Le Creuset specifically. I cannot sing their praises enough. In this set, there are 2 saucepans. This is the larger one and there is a smaller one. And there are 2 frying pans. This is the larger one and then there is a smaller one. And the smaller one is like the perfect size for a 1-person omelette, you know, just gravy. Between all 4 of these pans, you kind of wouldn't ever need another pan, but I have more pans. Let's talk about Scoville Never Stick. My best friend's mom, Eve, famous Eve, hey Eve's mom, got me this pan for my housewarming gift. I asked for a wok on my wish list and a wok I received. This wok is not as big as other woks. However, with the cupboard space I'm working with the fact that I'm mostly only cooking for myself, this is the perfect 1 to 2 person stir fry, fried rice, you know, noodle wok dish. I have only been cooking out of this for about 3 months, but when it says never stick, it ain't never sticking. With traditional woks, I believe you have to season them to give them a non-stick coating. I don't know, we tried it at home. You're not supposed to wash it too abrasively. This is much more me. This is much more my vibe, not having to do any of that stuff. Staying within the never stick land, we have my saute pan. It's kind of like a tall frying pan meets like a wide milk pan, if that makes sense. I use it for, to be honest, the thing that came to mind was actually a curry. This pan has a lid, I just don't have it with me right now. It's in the cupboard somewhere. This is my go-to pan for if I'm making like a curry. Again, it's not the biggest pan in the world. These are all super suitable for me. Cooking for one person, I don't have like a massive Dutch pot or anything here. So this is kind of like my curry pan. This is also like pasta sauce pan. It's like a really good surface area for if you cook down tomato sauce in here and then you're gonna add in linguine, or you're gonna add in whatever your chosen pasta shape is, but linguine is the best. And you need the ability to put a lid on, cover it, simmer it, like that. It's a saute pan, like but this particular saute pan, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Casserole pan, this was another gift from family friend. This has hella watermark smears on it. I probably should have like polish it or something. Scared of that. This is a pan with a lid. I love when things come with like recommendations, and as Ali gave this to me, she was like, I have this pan, I love this pan, I use it for X, Y, Z, I do this with it, I do that with it. And especially when it's like something that's new to you, having recommendations of exactly how to use it and how not to use it is really, really helpful. Things I've made in this include absolutely anything. The whole dish can go in the oven. So I did make a pasta bake in this, which is great. Same with the saute pan. You can just make the sauce straight in here, put your pasta in, put the lid on or not, top with cheese, and put the entire dish in the oven. This is a John Lewis own brand product, non-stick, really, really good quality, and yeah, I love it. I just want to say as well, for anybody who hasn't seen my whole kitchen, I have a gas burner, but all my pans are suitable for every type of cooker, I think, except the next one. If you've made it this far, it was worth it, because I have probably saved the best for last, and that is my favorite newest pan, which I haven't even used yet, but I am so excited about, and that is my cast iron skillet. I wanted a cast iron skillet for so long, and I couldn't find one anywhere. I kind of started to realize that they're a bit of an Americanism. We do have what are labeled as cast iron skillets here. However, most of the ones in the UK are already glazed, so they have like a non-stick coating to them, or they're like a griddle pan, or I just couldn't find many. I think this is a 29 centimeter just raw cast iron skillet pan. I finally found this at TK Maxx, not even HomeSense, TK Maxx online. The brand of it was by Hairy Bikers. If anyone doesn't know, they are like a TV chef duo, the Hairy Bikers, so it's their brand. I find cooking in a skillet just like so attractive. I've never actually been able to do it because I haven't had one, but I am so excited to get this thing seasoned and start cooking in it. Unlike what I just said about seasoning woks and how it's just not my vibe, because I already love this thing, I know that I'm going to dedicate my life to seasoning it and making sure that everything is all good. Let me know in the comments below if you are interested in seeing my love affair with the skillet and skillet cooking continue. Drop any recipes that you even know of or that you would like to see me cook or try to cook in this skillet. I feel like they're going to be very kind of American leaning, like cobblers, maybe crumbles. I've seen those like giant gooey skillet cookies, cornbread. Oh, just saying all these words just reminds me of all the amazing places I've eaten all this food in America and how unlikely I am to travel anytime soon. If you are interested in doing any of those skillet recipes but don't share my passion for seasoning and looking after your skillet, like I said, you can probably grab one which is like pre-seasoned or has a non-stick coating, and I think that is everything. Obviously I do have more pans, I do have more knives, I do have more random stuff, but I would say that this is like a basic kit. I know a lot of people have been watching my videos of my flat tour and how to buy a flat that are on a similar journey to me, so maybe this is inspiration for people who have just got there at first place and don't necessarily know what to kit out their kitchen with, people who love to cook, people who are looking for gift ideas for people who love to cook. I would say any of these things. So thank you so much for watching, and also thank you so much because I have just passed 1,000 subscribers like as I'm filming this video, which is really exciting, and as a small YouTuber to celebrate even the smallest of steps is just really important to me. We're celebrating every win in 2020. every single win. All the links are in the description. Check out any more videos that you haven't seen on screen now, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.